do you know, Mr. Vogt, how many of the largest corporations in America paid absolutely nothing in federal income tax in 2025?
Not off the top of my head, but our view is that the tax policy.
Well, let me just tell you, Mr. Vogt, reclaiming my time, let me just tell you the number of corporations, large corporations, that paid absolutely zero in federal tax was 88 at least that we know of, including Tesla, which paid zero on almost $5.7 billion of income, as well as Coinbase, Citigroup, CVS Health, and Palantir. And those companies together had over $105 billion in profits. Now, meanwhile, Mr. Vogt, what's the average income tax paid by Americans?
Look, Ms. Congresswoman, this bill that you are opposed to, that you voted against.
Do you know the answer to my question? Because I get to ask the questions here.
I understand, but you're asking
so I'm asking
question.
you what the average income tax rate is that's paid by Americans.
And I'm suggesting that you were not a part of keeping tax
Okay,
rates low.
so you don't know, it's 14.5%. So while all these corporations paid nothing, average Americans are paying 14.5%. Now, are you aware that thanks to stripping health care from Americans, the middle 60% of Americans will pay $900 more on average than before Trump came in and created chaos with tariffs and health care and tax law that benefited the wealthiest? You can just say yes or
This administration
no.
did not strip health care, and in fact, we provided $50 billion for rural health care that you voted against.
In the president's budget request, you state that, quote, it ensures that every taxpayer dollar makes Americans safer, stronger, and more prosperous. So please answer yes or no to these questions. According to one survey, 1 in 6, that's 17%, returning ACA marketplace enrollees say they are not confident that they will be able to afford their premiums this year. Does that make Americans stronger and more prosperous?
It certainly makes it more prosperous to have a health care system that ensures that
okay,
people who
so you're okay with all these Americans not being able to afford their health care premiums. Now, you're trying to eliminate the low-income energy assistance programs while Trump's illegal Iran war raises gas prices. Does that make Americans stronger and more prosperous?
It's important to not have fraudulent programs.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked about fraud, because you are coming back to ask for a $1.5 trillion budget for the Department of Defense. How many consecutive audits has the Department of Defense failed as of the end of 2025?
The department is making progress towards the audit.
How many audits has the Department of Defense failed? The number is 8. And Mr. Vogt, the Department of Defense is the only federal agency that has never passed an audit. And you want to talk to me about fraud? There is over at least $10 billion in confirmed fraud within the Department of Defense, but you're not going after any of that. Now, let me turn to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, since you're also the acting director there. This was an agency that was established to protect consumers from financial predation, deception, fraud, and abuse from the biggest banks, biggest corporations. And the CFPB has stepped in and really done that work under the last administration. CFPB put real money back in consumers' pockets, returned over $21 billion to consumers who were cheated or scammed by big banks, giant corporations. It ordered Wells Fargo to pay over $2 billion and Bank of America to pay $727 million to consumers who were harmed. But you have a mission to eliminate the CFPB. Why are you protecting big corporations instead of consumers, Mr. Vogt?
I'm not. CFPB caused $350 billion of added costs on consumers.
Mr. Vogt, you are asking to reduce the CFPB's workforce to just 1/3 of its 2025 level, which means that the department that oversees the banks and other financial companies that hold trillions of dollars in mortgage, auto, credit card, and student loan debt would drop from 500 employees to just 77, and the enforcement department would only have 50 workers. What do you have to say to the millions of service members, veterans, older adults, and students that are seeing costs rise, and now, because of your unprecedented rollback of consumer protection staff, have nobody at the agency that is actually policing those big corporations that are scamming consumers?
The gentlelady's time has
We are
expired.
policing it, and in fact, we do not believe that an agency that increased the cost on the American people should not have oversight. That's why we've reined it in.
Yield 5
It is
minutes
clear to
Mr.
me that
Klinger.
you
The
are just
gentlelady's time
protecting
has
those
expired.
biggest corporations,
Thank you.
Mr.
Gentlelady's
Vogt,
time
and
has
you should be
expired.
ashamed of that. I yield back.